Good evening. Well, it's almost the bottom of the ninth of this part of the evening. But as somebody once said, it ain't over till it's over, right? Obviously, the Federation functions because of a close partnership between our professional team, our lay leadership, our agencies, and Israel and Israeli programs. So it's my pleasure to, as chair of the nominating committee, to present to you the formal business of the election of trustees, directors, and officers. Before I begin, a little bit of business. As you know, and as Andrew mentioned, with Michael Oberlander assuming a professional position in the organization, the office of treasurer, for which he was formally nominated, is an open seat. Our bylaws require that at least a 20-day notice be given for anyone to be elected to the board. And so the slate of officers has changed since that deadline. So tonight we're going to leave the office of treasurer formally unfilled. However, as Andrew also said, the nominating committee was able to nominate with great pleasure Mark Zarensky to serve as treasurer for the 2016-17 year. Mark is a former Federation board member, former chair of the audit committee, and a longtime member of the Budget, Finance, and Administration Committee. And for the sake of transparency, we want to announce his name as the candidate of choice, but his formal appointment won't take effect until after the new board is elected and then appoints him to that position. Now, that's complicated, but it's our bylaws. I would first also like to say thank you to all those who end their current terms as at-large directors and trustees: Susan Godwin-Kofkoff and Ian Silberman, Ken Rubin and Dana Emenegger. I'd also like to thank, of course, Michael Oberlander, who is, believe it or not, stepping off of the board of directors after a decade of service. And of course, we all look forward to working with him in his new position. We begin our elections with a vote on the candidates for the Board of Trustees listed in your program. And this includes 16 at-large candidates and one new Council of Life member, Barry Rosenberg. You all know that Barry has been a critical part of our history, having served as Chief Executive Officer from 1993 to 2012, capping off a 37-year career of successful nonprofit management in the Federation system, only to go on to become a professor at George Warren Brown School of Social Work. Barry has also remained actively involved in our work as an important advisor to Andrew, as a volunteer solicitor, and as a major donor. Additionally, he now leads the Israel Strategy Committee of the JCRC. Barry, thank you again for your service and dedication, and we're very excited to welcome you to the Council of Life members. And I'm sorry I can't see you from here. There you are. All right. How's it going? In addition to Barry's nomination, we have 16 at-large trustees nominated for a 2-year term, including 3 new members. Please rise if you're here as I call your name: Alan Fine, Lexi Goldsmith, and Susan Godwin-Kofkoff. Alan, Lexi, and Susan join 13 current trustees nominated for another term of service: Stuart Block, Jason Cohen, Charlie Deutsch, Phil Frischer, Stephanie Gross, Amy Bender-Levy, Audrey Katcher, Milton Movitz, Rabbi Hershey Novak, Jerry Padower, Brad Snitzer, John Wallach, and Josh Wallach. May I please have a motion to elect these nominees? A second? And all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Hearing none, the at-large trustees are elected unanimously. Continuing the elections now, tonight 8 members have been nominated for a 2-year term as at-large members of the Board of Directors. These include 1 new and 1 returning member, Catherine Green Bruckle, and Michael Litwack. Kathy and Michael join the following 6 current directors nominated for a 2-year term of service: J.J. Flotkin, Gianna Jacobson, Emily Stein McDonald, Michael Steinberg, Rabbi Susan Talvey, and Toby Wardakowski. May I have a motion from the trustees to elect the nominees? A second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the directors are elected unanimously. And now to complete the elections with a vote by the directors on the new slate of officers whose terms are up this year, the 5 vice chairs and our secretary. The current officers have been nominated for a 2nd year for the positions listed in your program: Tim Stern, David Kaslow, Sue Schlichter, Jerry Greiman, and Ken Kranzberg. And additionally, as mentioned, we've added Mark Zarensky to be the new treasurer. May I have a motion from the directors to elect the nominees? A second? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The officers are elected unanimously. And according to our bylaws, our elections are now concluded and all trustees, directors, and officers are duly installed. Would all of those elected this evening please stand and accept our thanks? Congratulations to each of you, and thank you for your time, commitment, and service to the community. In closing, I do want to thank the members of the Board Development and Nominating Committee for their work: Sheila Greenbaum, John Greenberg, John Kalishman, Ken Kranzberg, Rachel Lubchansky, Rabbi Brigitte Rosenberg, Don Rubin, Ian Silberman, Brad Snitzer, Emily Stein McDonald, and Janie Rudman Weiss. Thank you.
We're almost there, I promise. Patty, thank you very much for the great job as always. We know that whatever you do really, really well, and so I want to thank you very much. And at this point, I'm calling up Tim Stern.
Thank you, Harvey, for that short introduction. Thank you all for being here. When we first started talking about having an event on top of the annual meeting, Andrew said that the annual meeting would take about 15 minutes. Missed it by that much. We really, when we put this on the calendar, we didn't know what to expect, and we're so excited and proud to have this group here, and over 650 people will be in attendance tonight, which is a lot of Jews. So, without further ado, we'd like to invite you to join us down at the field level, where there will be food and a great speaker, visits to the dugout, batting practice, some pitches in the bullpen. So please look for Federation staff wearing their cardinal red polos and join us down on the field. Thank you.